Well, the current unrest in Sudan is sending the country's economy into a nosedive. Last month, the Sudanese government announced it could no longer afford to subsidize gas, increasing fuel prices there by 60% and making everyday necessities drastically more expensive and scarce. Now, Sudan's economy has been crumbling since March, when the newly independent nation of South Sudan split off and completely shut down oil production. For more on Sudan's worsening economic situation and how it could affect the United States, we're joined by Randall Butler of the Institute for Sustainable Peace. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
First, if you could just start with, give us an idea of what is taking place there right now and just how volatile is the situation?
Well, what's happening right now all across Sudan, and particularly in Khartoum, the capital, is that there's a growing protest movement that's led by a student protest group called Grifna. And it's very similar to the protests that took place in Serbia years ago. And of course, this could be the beginning of the Arab Spring coming to Sudan.
What are the people facing there right now?
There are shortages of basic necessities, inflation's going crazy, and all of this because they've lost the oil revenue that they once had that they shared with the South, because the South shut down oil production. And the only way to get that oil to market is through a pipeline that runs north through Sudan. And so they're in talks to try to work that out, but those have taken a while.
Is the United States government involved and to what degree, if so?
The United States government has been involved particularly in South Sudan. In fact, South Sudan, as you made reference to, became independent a year ago on July 9th. And that would not have happened without the support of our government.
How is that impacting the United States? What could we see as a result of that?
Well, I think the real concern, I think, would be, for sure, you don't want to see a resumption of the long war that took place for 21 years between the North and the South that was that ceased or ended in 2005 because of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, which set up the process for South Sudan to become independent if it chose to do so. And of course it did.
So could we see some major changes in the next 6 months to a year?
Well, I think that we could. And what's interesting about what's going on there is at the very same time that this is happening in Sudan, in Khartoum, and in other cities, there's a reconciliation process that is going on inside of Darfur, in the heart of Darfur. And this is something that we've been involved in. We initiated a series of meetings in Darfur between the two largest tribes there, an Arab tribe and an indigenous African tribe. And literally, this is what the genocide was about, was the Arab tribe displacing.
We're running out of time here. Thank you so much for joining us. The situation we will continue to follow. Randall Butler, and we will be right back.